That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Arguably the greatest show that Disney Plus has had on the Marvel side, it's WandaVision. On the Star Wars side, that's easy. Andor. Andor is probably the best thing of anything that Star Wars has done in 30 years. It was just like, I was hoping it would be good because I like Rogue One and I really like Tony Gilroy. So I was hoping it would be good, although I'm not that big on prequel stories. And this is again this is a prequel to Rogue One and whatever. Okay. I could not believe how good Andor was. And it was nominated for Best Drama Series at the Emmys. Huge, huge accomplishment for this series. And it's great, but we've been waiting. When are we getting Andor season 2? And now we know, as they have announced, that Andor season 2 will debut on Disney Plus in April of 2025. And it's being structured in a really cool way that we kind of heard about before, but this is what they write on the wrap. The second season of Star Wars prequel series Andor will debut on Disney Plus on April 22nd, 2025. The show covers the time period that leads up to the events of the movie Rogue One. So this is the final season, set just before Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope. Season 2 will cover a period of 4 years across 12 episodes. Thank you for no 8-episode nonsense. The episodes will be split into 3-episode arcs and that will each cover a handful of days from each year. So there's going to be one story that's a 3-episode arc that takes place in a year, over the course of a couple of days that represents 1 year. Then they're going to jump time to the following year and another 3-episode story. Then they're going to jump another year to another 3-episode story, and then jump the final year to a 3-episode story, which will lead us directly into the events of Rogue One. Very interesting way of handling it, and very different from how they did season 1. Diego Luna is just incredible. And the side characters as well. That's one of the great things about Andor. All the secondary characters were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They were all incredible. I was drawn into every single one of their stories. Every single one of them had fantastic individual stories going on that tied into the overall story. It's just brilliant storytelling, the show overall. I always used to, if you guys remember, I used to define when I was watching Andor, I'm like, this is Star Wars for grown-ups. Not to suggest that other Star Wars is for kids. Other Star Wars is for everybody, right? All the other Star Wars is very family-oriented, very family-friendly for that kids and adults alike can love. But I remember when we were watching Andor, I said, this doesn't feel like a Disney Plus show. What did I say? I said, it feels like an HBO Max show.
Yeah.
Right.
This feels like it comes from the network that does The Sopranos more than it feels like the network that gave us, Obi-Wan. Right? If it was a very different show done with a very different approach, but I absolutely loved it. I'm like this, and I'm not saying all Star Wars should be like that. Not at all. I'm not saying that at all. I like having other, the more traditional kind of Star Wars as well. Absolutely. But I love that they had this tone as well.
What?
And the quality level of it was literally best TV show at the Emmys worthy. It was amazing.
What I like about this Star Wars is if you can't get off the sand, the Tatooines, the whatever, at least give us a different perspective. And I think that's what Skeleton Crew is going to do. The view from kids living in that universe, and also the return of Ben Mendelsohn in this is we're getting.
And that's one of the big exciting things.
And
Ben
Alan
Mendelsohn
Tudyk
as director Krennic.
Yeah. So we
and
got that.
Finally getting Alan Tudyk in.
Yep.
With what's the name of the droid? K2SO.
Yep.
Which I love, because I remember I was at D23 when they announced Andor, and they had Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk come out on stage together to announce the series. But then it was mentioned that Alan Tudyk wasn't going to be in season 1. I love that character, even though we know what happens to him, unfortunately. Anyway, now we've got a date. What is it now? November, December, January, February, March, April. 5 months.
I know, it's pretty close. coming up spring.
5 months. I mean, I was
Everybody
kind of
release.
hoping we would get it by the end of 2024, but whatever.
Everybody release their stuff before GTA 6 comes out. That's all I gotta
That's
say.
everybody's racing against. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, The Perfect Jean. So the colder season is here, and guess what? I am living in the perfect jean. These jeans are super stretchy, soft, and totally trick people into thinking I've got my life together. And I'm telling you this because I actually love them. These are absolutely, no questions asked, my favorite jeans that I have ever owned. And yes, the folks over at The Perfect Jean are paying me to say that, but it's still absolutely true. These are my favorite jeans ever. These jeans have enough stretch to accommodate Thanksgiving dinner and are comfy enough to wear all day watching Sunday football. Plus, even though they feel like sweatpants, they look good enough to be your go-to pants for date night. And listen, the Perfect Jean isn't even just pants. They've revolutionized t-shirts as well. The Perfect Tee has just enough stretch to hide that beer belly while accentuating your arms and chest for that flawless look. My guys, it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use the code CAMPEA at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with the promo code CAMPEA. And after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them we sent you. F your khakis and get the perfect jean. All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Andor now has a release date in April of 2025, about 5 months away, so we still got a little ways to wait, but hey, at least now we know it's coming. What do you guys think about that? Did you watch the show? Not everybody did. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.